Welcome to a probably bad Halloween special. I'm Dean Daniel, and thanks to Hedwig, Carlo, our new friend Goswald the Gargoyle, and everyone who sent in voice recordings. Have a probably bad day.
Chess.
Chess?
Chess.
Chess.
Chess. Chess.
Yes.
Chess. What is it? Where did it come from? What can we do to stop it?
I got into chess when I was 13, and I thought that was young. When I got out there into tournaments, I met people who've been chessing since they were 5 or 6. They hooked from young.
A lot of people say, what's the harm? And it's better they're chessing in the youth centre than out on the streets. But what they don't say is the mortality rate for people who are chess users is close to 100%.
In this audio document, we will be talking with survivors, experts, and for regulatory reasons, one industry spokesperson. Welcome to Chess, a black and white issue.
Chess was invented during the 100 Years' War, when the king's strategic planners would distract themselves from the horrors of bloodshed by getting silly with the maps and figurines. After several skirmishes provoked by disagreements, a rulebook was produced, Rules of the Play of Chess by Chet du Maurier. It was distributed by printing mogul Johannes Gutenberg in hollowed-out Bibles to avoid falling foul of anti-tomfoolery laws in the Papal States. Then it got into the monasteries, and then the merchants, and pretty soon it was a phenomenon.
When people play chess, it activates a part of the brain called McNeil's node, a rogue pleasure center, telling the body to keep doing what it's doing. It keeps them going back, and before too long, nothing else can release the right chemicals, and you need those chemicals or you'll die. So they have to chess.
So they stopped the game and it lasted 5 years. I'm scared of what happened if it finishes. At work they call me Endgame.
Please don't identify yourself.
Can I be Suzanne?
Sure.
They call me Endgame Suzanne.
We spoke to Ches, one of the top board manufacturers we could get hold of at short notice.
Our figurines are crafted to the highest standards, and as long as the pieces are not ingested, they produce no physical harm.
You're referring to bishop pints.
I'd rather not.
That's clearly what you're...
Don't make me say it.
That is what you're talking about.
Fine.
Bishop Pints is an initiation rite in some university and further education chess societies. To become full members, initiates drink a full pint of alcoholic beer with a chess piece inside it.
It depends on how much they like you. The name is a misnomer. Some people got a pawn or a rook. I got a knight.
Doug McDoug, who insisted on being identified by name, was taken to A&E with acute medical needs. He saw a surgeon who, after a surgical consultation, agreed he needed surgery. What happened next wasn't good.
It were bad.
Doug, who wants us to mention he is an aspiring voiceover artist and drama graduate pending payment of library fees, was given an exploratory endoscope. What happened next surprised everyone, but will be all too familiar to victims of that dangerous game people call the monochrome dance.
They poked around the insides and it just weren't where it should have been. After further imaging, they realised what happened.
The night was about as deep in the tract as we expected, but we couldn't see it. We feared the worst, that it might have been absorbed or dissolved, but neither had happened. The knight made a lateral move. It was gunning for the kidneys.
Major surgery was attempted, but by the time they reached it, the knight had become load-bearing.
You take that out. Take out low-bearing knight, you get kidney drift, and trust me, you do not want kidney drift.
Finished my degree, got some advertising work, but I couldn't do nude scenes. I was scared they could see it. But you can't, can you?
Please, can you put your shirt back on?
Couldn't attend church services anymore. As soon as the bishop bent over, stopped pushing him around the angle. You didn't like that, not on Michaelmas.
A friend tried to get me into the game. Started asking about what I enjoyed. Told him Uno and he called me a rainbow bitch. Chuck Trumbo was one of the founding members of Young Anti-Chess League, or YACL. When we first started, we were not even once. But as we started in 1999 and a lot of us wore leather trench coats that sort of muddled the message. I like Dark City better anyway. Today, YACL boasts of members across the metropolitan area. We have a lot of activities. It's not just activism, it's fun and games. Drafts, Go, backgammon, as some thought we were sailing close to the wind. This caused the splinter group to break off, as splinters are known to do. Porn-free people talk a big game, but did they book this roller disco in Kidderminster? Okay, but that was 2002, gold member Anne Van Wilder. Big year for roller discos in films. We did it 01. Pure grassroots, no eye. The chess hype, however, had been reaching fever pitch. Last year, streaming giant Pigeon released hit chess miniseries Double Bomb Cloud, named after a controversial gambit. Its tale of complex anti-heroes and unsimulated chess play unfolds in 1980s Somerset, and features a cast of chic, sexually literate agriculture graduates. They use their logistical know-how to make unorthodox moves across the board and find their way to fame or fortune. We will play selected dialogue from the 5th episode, Knight Takes Rook, Part 1, where Fletch is confronted about his intake. What's all this then, you bell end? We got a match tomorrow. I can't find a plate for me cheeky chicken enchilada.
Boss, chillax.
Chill what?
Combination of chill and relax.
Never heard of it.
Coined it, didn't I? Now I just gotta sit back and let the royalties pile up.
Doubt it.
History will vindicate me.
That's your plan, huh? Giving up on chess?
Our opposite. Care to join me?
What's that?
I'm thinking about Kathy.
Look, what happened was a tragedy.
She was right.
What?
You don't just move the pieces. You be the pieces.
Wait, what are you grinding up?
This is the rook that defeated me in my last tournament. Now, I'm taking its power.
That's enough. I'm getting you out.
Oh, and how are you going to do that?
Just have to get to the...
Phone? The one that's now behind me? Sure, you could go for it, but you'll leave yourself open.
Open how?
What's on the mantelpiece? The one I could get to while you're busy with the phone.
You wouldn't. Not Kingsley.
We can't all have had a Grandmaster Grandpa, but maybe, in a way, I can.
Yeah? And what's this? Your invitation to the Wembley semis? Be a shame if... Well, you know what they say. Check.
Checkmate, you son of a bitch.
Despite showing the desperation and alienation suffered by chess enthusiasts, the show spiked a 300% increase in sales of chess paraphernalia. We asked the creator, Cream Gunderson, for comment. I don't think I can be held responsible for what grown adults do. Hell, I can't even control what my grown kids do.
Have they fallen out of touch after this chess miniseries debacle?
No, they keep talking to me and they suck.
What's your own experience with chess?
I don't know if I could...
Because your producer mentioned it in other interviews, the Odessa incident.
People exaggerate.
What part of that wasn't true?
I did not arrange all the players on a grid and make them fight to the death.
Right.
I may have tried to, but that's not the same. Nobody got hurt.
I remember reading about hospitalization.
No one got permanently hurt. And those who feel they were emotionally damaged were compensated.
With what?
Therapy worksheets. Now for more balance, a representative of the Chess Federation. To balance out that balance, we have changed the voice to sound evil.
I don't know where you get your facts from, fool. I honestly don't. Even basic stuff like the rules of the game. Is it possible to have a reasonable conversation with you if you're going to be one?
went on in a similar fashion. We received similar messages from other professionals making accusations about our knowledge of the game and its rules. We took some of them to court. Here's a recording we made by hiding a phone under a shawl.
Order! Order!
They're lying, and I can't believe you're allowing this farce to continue.
We are more than happy to settle this out of court.
It's just factually wrong. You might as well say hide and seek is the same as hungry, hungry hippos.
I'm happy to hold both of you in contempt if I have to. Very happy. Does the plaintiff have anything further to say?
How are we doing so far?
I don't think there's reasonable grounds to say in chess you can move pawns 2 steps sideways if you pay off the right guy.
Might I just say one more thing?
That's why I asked, does the plaintiff have anything further to say? Isn't that right?
Eh? You're talking to me?
Yes, can you read that back?
Does this mean I have to type up the bit where you ask me to read it back? And my bit where I ask if you're talking to me?
Are you a trained stenographer?
I'd like that struck from the record. It's really hard to type.
Never mind. All right, wrap this up. I have afternoon plans.
Yes, we all have plans. Would those plans involve board games?
Perhaps. Where's this going?
It'll go faster if you don't ask me where it's going.
Go on then.
I will. What kind of board games?
I have broad tastes. Scrabble, Boggle.
Chess?
Objection.
On what grounds?
Have a bad feeling about it.
This is why you should hire lawyers.
Have you played chess recently?
Yes, but if you were insinuating some degree of bias.
Oh, nothing of the sort. It's not like he wrote the how to play guide that is sold with every chess set from Bingham Games.
I write a lot of game manuals. It's normal and proper, not particularly interesting work.
But if you were shown to be wrong, it would cause you some degree of professional embarrassment.
A little, but there's always new additions and redactions.
That's not what I want to talk about. Justice Blackstone, were you in the park yesterday?
Yes,
And did you play chess?
that's right.
Win any?
Won some, lost some.
I'm particularly interested in the third game,
I don't recall much of each game.
against a man in a Stetson.
Yes.
Did you win that one?
I really have to remember.
Come now. You play a man in a hat like that, you remember it. No shame in a stalemate.
It was a loss.
I see. Do you remember anything about his tactics?
He played fast. Dirty street chess. I have to admit I like it like that. Rough, feral, real.
And I don't judge you for that. Did he do any particular pawn moves that struck you as odd?
Did an Anderson opening, which seemed bold, but
Okay, I can't do this if you're just making up moves.
Idiot.
Did you make any kind of en passant play? Anything odd?
Pass on isn't a sideways move, it's a diagonal.
Ned says what?
What?
Anything like that, Your Honor?
he may have moved a pawn from A3 to B3.
I see. Very interesting.
The issue under discussion isn't whether someone can move a pawn sideways, it's whether they can do it, quote, if they pay off the right guy.
That's right. Did any money change hands that day?
No, none.
Drink coffee, Judge? You like that cup of Joe? A little morning juice? Alert water? A little Java injection? You know, rocket fuel? A little feisty bean?
Yes,
Did you have some this morning?
yes.
At home, or did you buy it?
I bought it.
Cash or card?
Cash.
Right. The man in the Stetson paid cash too. Big wad of notes with a little ink stain on one corner. You'd know if you paid for anything with that.
Really?
In fact, would you be willing to swear in front of the court that you did not pay for your coffee this morning with a stained banknote?
You're impugning the integrity of this court and are on very thin ice. I'd wrap this up.
Okay. I have nothing to say except to ask for support from a friend. Will you stand up, please? Recognize the apron?
I get my coffee from there every morning. I love it.
Leave a tip?
Every time it's my favorite place.
You tipped this morning.
They did.
Will you please take out the tip you got this morning?
Order! Order! I will have order!
We received a considerable sum of money. some of which went to making this documentary, and the rest to settling the other libel cases we were involved in. When editing, we checked up on some of the people we talked to. They were all dead, or unhappy. Even people who tried to get away from the game fell back into it. A new condition, deep blue fever, has hit the chess community hard and baffled scientists. It has no known symptoms, cause, or treatments. We may never know what it is. The safest thing to say is chess, not even once.